Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. Our world is coded in an ever-thickening layer of computer code. It helps us drive our cars, it entertains us, it informs us, it even helps keep us healthy. Virtually everything we touch in the 21st century uses bits of computer code, from the key fobs that we use to drive our car, to start our cars, to our telephones, not just our smartphones, but even the little cordless phones in our houses. If it's got a button on it, it probably has computer code to run it. Steve Jobs once said, everyone should learn how to code because it teaches us how to think and changes how we perceive the world. It allows us to change how we think because we take complex problems and we break them down into little bite-sized bits and we solve them. And those can be applied to anything, not just computer programming. One time whenever I was younger, my car kept overheating. And I wasn't sure why. I didn't know much about auto mechanics. But I knew how to code a computer and I knew how to solve problems. So I took a look at the engine and said, well, I could narrow down the problem to it must be the cooling system since the car isn't staying cool. And we traced it through the water in the system to say, well, the pump is pumping, but no water's getting to the pump. So just like following data flow through a computer, we followed the water flow and found a hose collapsing whenever the car would start, causing it to overheat. Replaced the hose, problem solved. It also moves us from being consumers to being creators. Instead of just going out and buying that app, perhaps you have an idea for an app that you don't see, something that solves a problem in your life that other people could benefit from using as well. Plus, there's the satisfaction of creating something original that nobody else has done yet. It's also a lifelong learning experience. Currently, there's a gentleman downtown that is an iOS developer, and he decided to start an iOS development group of his own to teach people how to develop and write code for the iPhone, because he wanted a bigger community to be able to call on to help solve problems and to spend time together and learn how to solve some of these problems as a group. So he got a group together, and our first group is going through right now. And next year, that group will mentor a new group coming in until we have a large, vibrant development community right here in Las Vegas. Also, every job will someday involve coding, and largely does now. Even working on a manufacturing floor, robots that do jobs that humans used to do have to be programmed. And restaurants have cash registers that are largely computers now. Prices have to be changed, items have to be added, items have to be removed. All that requires a little bit of computer coding. If any of you have ever used a program like Word to create a mail merge, that was coding. There's programs on the Mac called Automator. You don't have to know how to code. You have to know how to solve the problem. And you can drop little blocks in to solve a problem. So a few years ago, I was working on a campaign, and the photographers were sending me in hundreds of photographs. All of these were in bitmaps. So I wrote a little Automator script, take it out of the email, convert it to a JPEG, write it to this cloud drive so it's available for the artist to pick up and use in future events. And somebody came to me and said, how are you dealing with all these photos so fast? I said, simply, I'm not. Anything that's repetitive, the computer can do really well and really fast. So there are three kinds of coders. You have your novice developer, which everybody could be a novice developer. And it helps you understand your computer better and helps you use your computer better and use it to its full potential. The next step would be developers, people that write programs for a living. And those programs are things you use every day on your smartphone, on your computer. And then eventually you get to the level of the programmer. These are people that write device drivers that tell the computer how to draw something on the screen, that write computer languages that developers use to write these programs. Currently, there are about 1 million job openings for developers and programmers in the United States. And by the year 2020, that's going to be closer to 10 million job openings. Those are jobs we can't fill today. Tesla is stealing developers from Apple. Apple's stealing developers from Google. Banks are stealing from the big companies, and that's not even the startups. All these companies, we've had over 600 startups in the last 2 years in the technology area in Las Vegas. That's outside of Silicon Valley. And so it's important to learn how to code because every job is going to use it. Bill Gates became a billionaire by learning how to code, and you just may too.